Hey you guys, welcome back to my video. So today's video is going to be about 5 ground rules to set with your roommate. This can actually be a college edition, or you can use this outside of college just in case if you are getting a roommate. I think it's important for us to know our roommates more than often, and I think a lot of us judge our roommates and we're nervous about getting roommates because sometimes we just don't know how to handle living with another person. So whether they end up being like lifelong friends, or your colleague or coworker, as long as you're setting ground rules, you're kind of like removing the factor of there being any drama at all. So this is going to be my version of my video of 5 ground rules to set with your roommate. Number 5, rent and splitting. So I think it's important for you to discuss the amount that you guys are going to be splitting for rent. Now this is more of going to be outside of a college as opposed to in college, unless you are splitting a room within college. But normally when you get an apartment, like let's just say the apartment's like, let's just round it up to like $1,500, you know, you definitely want to split that. So you can either split it evenly, or what you can also do, if the apartment has one bigger room than the other, I mean, I personally always do this. I always recommend that the person who ends up getting the bigger room should pay just a little bit slightly more. So this way it's kind of fair. Sometimes everybody wants to end up with the larger room. You can either flip a coin for it if you guys really don't care that much about splitting it the same and just make it exactly the same, or if you want to keep it completely fair, the person who wants the bigger room can just pay for the extra money in order to get the bigger room. Number 4. Rent bills and utilities. So we get this all the time. There's, you know, sometimes heat and hot water is included, sometimes electric is included, sometimes the things are not included absolutely at all. So there's a lot of bills to worry about: electric, water, cable, Wi-Fi, if you're doing all these different bills. So if you guys want to do this, you can either split it evenly, or if you want to, for me, I don't watch cable, so what I did with my past roommate was we split the internet bill because we both used the internet, and he ended up paying more for cable since he was the only one that was using the cable. The most important part of this step is to determine who's going to pay the actual bills. And it's easier if one person does take charge of paying up all the bills, so you can determine who's going to be the one sending you all the money, and then who's going to be the person to keep on top of the bills and making sure that everything gets paid on time so that neither of you fall behind. I think if you try to split them all too much, then it can become confusing, and then your guys are swapping money back and forth between each other's accounts or just hand in hand. I think it's just easier if one person just takes complete charge and the other person just sends the other person the money. Number 3. Cleaning up. So this is the task that we probably all hate doing, but we need to determine a time to actually clean up the entire either place or the apartment, and this can also be college edition also. Who's going to do the dishes? Who's going to clean up the shower? These are the type of things that we worry about because neither of anybody wants to do dishes or showers. Let's be completely honest. You can either clean up after yourselves every time you use the shower, or every time you wash dishes, or if you don't like going that route because it just seems too tedious and it's just something that's annoying to you, it's definitely something I recommend because then it alleviates any pressure from anyone just washing your own dishes or washing the shower after you get out of it. But some people are a little bit more in depth with cleaning than other people are. If someone cooks a big dinner, then the other person would wash the dishes. Or you can rotate washing dishes, so if I wash the dishes this time around, the next time will be your time. Now the thing is, you have to keep track of this, because depending on the type of roommate that you have, they will try to put all the blame on you and say, well, I washed the dishes last time, and you're just like, no, I washed the dishes last time. So keep like a checklist on the refrigerator door or something like that as to the rotation of who's supposed to be going next. Otherwise, that can become a little bit more troublesome. And also cleaning the shower, like that's a very in-depth cleaning. I remember I had to always clean the shower because my roommate didn't know how to clean a shower, and that's just me being fairly honest, to be honest with you. It was just never as clean as I want it to be. So, you know, whoever is best at what, just determine exactly who's going to be taking care of what in the apartment. Number 2, rotating big expenses. And this might not even be big expenses to you, but like paper towels, toilet paper, garbage bags. Like these are things that are at least $6.99 and up, depending on the type of brand that you get. Now, I normally like name brand, and my roommate like name brand, bathroom and toiletry stuff. It can become very expensive if you're the one that's always buying it. If I'm purchasing the paper towels this time around, then he's gonna purchase the paper towels the next time around. And these are only for things that are very expensive. Like even garbage bags, they're not cheap nowadays, especially if you're the one that's constantly always the one buying it yourself, and then the person's just taking advantage of it. And buy them in bulk, don't buy them in one. It's a lot easier and they last a lot longer, and then you don't have to worry about it as often as you should because you're continuously replenishing it. And my number 1 ground rule for living with a roommate is discussing guests. So more than anything, this is where things can become either a little bit dramatic or a little bit non-dramatic depending on the type of roommate that you have. Whether you have a spouse or whether it's friends. I think it's important for you guys to discuss how guests are going to be coming to your house or whether it's something that bothers you or not. Some people don't want to feel like they're living with a third person as a roommate, and some people will feel like if this person is constantly here, if you have like a girlfriend or a boyfriend and they're constantly in the house, then why, and they're using all your products, why wouldn't they be contributing to, you know, the apartment or the facility that you're living in? And I think it's really important to discuss this, because if not, then it becomes something that could become kind of annoying. And I think we've all been at that point where we felt like we want to say something but we just don't know how to go about it. We don't want to tell someone like, hey, if I wanted to live with a third roommate, then I would have lived with a third roommate. And there are times where you just want your own privacy, or you're having a long day at work and you just want to get home and you just want to rest and you don't want to have to worry about anybody. And in the next door, you hear your freaking roommate and his girlfriend or whatever like that, like laughing their asses off or blasting the television, and you're just like, I just want to study, I don't want to like get through this, or I just want to relax when I'm home because I had a long day at work. So it's like I said, you know, sometimes, and even if you have your friends, there's always parties going on, or you're just like having a game option. Like luckily, like with my roommate, it wasn't too bad. I just enjoyed the company, especially if you're the type of person that's more introverted instead of being extroverted. You know, if you could choose to live alone, I'm pretty sure you would have chosen to live alone. Living with a roommate is probably definitely not your option, and the fact of someone in addition coming over and taking an additional space in the apartment or the place that you're staying at is probably something that's not gonna, you know, fly well with you, especially since it's gonna annoy you. And the last thing you wanna do is keep it in and not say anything. So make sure you discuss that ahead of time so that you're venting any, you know, anger buildup or any drama into your social life when it comes to school. So you guys, that is my videos on the 5 ground rules that you should set with your roommate. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I definitely enjoyed doing this video because I feel like this is something that I wish someone would have discussed with me, but I definitely had to learn the hard way with multiple roommates. Of course I live alone now, so it's awesome living by myself, but I never have to worry about that. You know, some of us are in school, some of us are just getting out of work, some of us are just graduating, so I just wanted to like spread this love and this share and this advice amongst everybody. So if you guys like this video, click like. You know, you're more than welcome to follow me on my social media, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All the information is linked down below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao!